Noreen Mayer on this Monday afternoon. And since it's Monday, you know it, there is a bit of trash talk on this Monday afternoon. And this week on Trash Talk, Marcy Trent-Long speaks with Lawrence Liu from the Civic Exchange about the Waste Blueprint for Hong Kong 2035.
Good news has arrived for all trash talkers. In early February, the Hong Kong government published the Waste Blueprint for Hong Kong 2035, advocating a vision of waste reduction, resources circulation, and zero landfill. Could it be true that our fair city has a vision for waste reduction over the next 15 years? Lawrence Liu of Civic Exchange is here to help us understand this waste blueprint. Not sure if all the listeners know about Civic Exchange. They're an independent Hong Kong public policy think tank established in 2000 that does a lot of really great research on how Hong Kong can become a more livable city. Welcome to the show, Lawrence.
Thank you, Marcy. Yeah, this is our 21st brilliant year for Civic Exchange.
It's great. I read your stuff all the time. It's really helpful stuff.
Thank you so much.
Now this time you guys have come out with, I know, some comments on the waste blueprint, but maybe you could help us take a step back because this isn't the first waste blueprint, right? There was an earlier one in 2013.
Yes.
And what was the outcome of the targets under that blueprint?
Okay, maybe let's get back to the previous target for the blueprint 2013 to 2022 first. So at that time, the government want to aim for 40% waste reduction and then boost up our recycling rate from around 40-something% to 55%. And then according to the data at 2011, the average waste disposal per capita is around 1.27 kilograms.
Per person.
Per
so
person.
Each person is tossing out 1.2 kg a day?
A day.
Okay.
But unfortunately, after the blueprint implement, like 5 years after, our waste disposal amount reached the record, 1.53 kg per person per day. That means that the waste blueprint not really well functioned and then not on the right track.
Right. It increased rather than decreased somehow. Okay. And that was 2011.
Yes.
And now it's 1.5.
Free.
Got it. All right. So that wasn't so successful, was it? So
not really successful.
So how do you think they plan on reversing that in the blueprint that they've put out for 2035? In the medium term and the long term?
So for the medium term, they still using the same target to reduce the per capita MSW disposal around 40 to 45%, and then also boost the recycle rate to 55%.
Okay, same goals. So
more or less same goal. Yeah.
And the question is the base the same? Are they doing that off of, where we stand today or where we stood a while
today?
Ago? Stand today.
Yeah.
Okay. So maybe we'll get back to 2011 if we're lucky.
That's because we analyzed the reason why the first blueprint not success, maybe 3 key reasons. The first one is the China import ban. That's terrible, and then make Hong Kong recycling industry almost shut down totally. And the second reason,
because we used to send all our recycling to China, mostly.
Yes, and then the second reason is the delay infrastructure, because Hong Kong government, or at that time 10 years ago, planned a lot of great infrastructure, but eventually all got delayed. And then the final reason
is... And what would be examples of that delay? Like, you mean O-Park, the organic waste facility, things like that came online after we expected them to?
Yes. And then also like the incinerator, take the incinerator as a sample. Originally, it should be before 2020, but now it's delayed to 2025.
I see. Okay.
Yeah. And then the final reason is the government cannot win the public trust. Yeah, because last year we worked with PORI and conducted a public opinion survey, and then also host a series of focus group discussion. General public are quite keen to recycle, But they also noticed that if they dump the recyclable material into the bin, and then the cleaning lady just puts everything into same plastic bag and then send it to landfill. So it's quite frustrating for our public. But I noticed that EPD already overtake the recycling bin management from the FEHD. So maybe it's a good step to win back the public support and trust.
That is good news. I didn't realize they did that. That's good. All right. So because the
FEHD, Food and Environment Hygiene Department.
Okay, so now EPD is running all those bins.
Yes.
And you think that when I put something in the bins, it's actually going to get recycled now?
Yes. Yeah, because nowadays seems is like to really compete the whole supply chain, from waste collection and then send it to the recycling plant or the,
Okay, that's exciting.
Yeah.
So how much do you think, in those 3 points that you just talked about, how important then is the municipal solid waste charging scheme, getting that passed in LegCo to achieving some of these goals?
My feeling is the new waste blueprint, one of the most important component is the municipal waste charging bills, which we call MSW bills, because at this moment, it seems it's like lack of motivation for people to make the change. But if we implement the bill, and then that means that there are price tags when you dumping your waste to the landfill. But you can do another way, because the EPD will provide sufficient recycling facility for you. And then if you follow the instruction, categorize your waste properly, and then it can help you save your money. That will become a really strong motivation for Hong Kong people to recycle their waste, or also by using the polluter pay principle, also can motivate the industry thinking about the packaging, and then also how to save the material when they design a new product, because the consumer will really use the market principle, will select those products with less packaging in the future.
Right. Yeah, and then we'll all be motivated for the people that aren't as much to recycle.
Yes.
Well, it's okay. It's only been 17 years, right? Since they first introduced it. There's no rush.
No, actually it's quite urgent, because we must pass the bill before this LegCo term end in this year. Yeah, otherwise the government probably need to spend 4 to 5 years to reintroduce such good bill to the LegCo. And then we also did a popular opinion survey this year, and then we will announce it next month. But the preliminary results show that public shows really strong support in this particular bill.
All right, cross fingers, and let's keep an eye on that and promote it. One question that I have, a big issue with recycling here and also everywhere in the world is just contamination and organic waste. And I know we've got OPark 1, I believe they're building OPark 2, right, which are these organic waste recovery facilities. What does the blueprint say about organic waste?
Okay, the government mentioned that they will roll out a second phase of pilot scheme on the food waste collection in this year's on a really large scale, include collection of domestic food waste progressively, and then also achieve target of collecting 250 tons of food waste per day by 2022. Okay. Yeah, but I think that the government should ramp up much rapidly, because if we really can implement the MSW bill, this will create a strong motivation for the restaurant owner or even the public to try to recycle their organic waste rather than dump into the landfill. Because we noticed that our waste sector in Hong Kong greenhouse gas inventory is the only sector going up after 2013. It means that this also reducing the government investment on other climate mitigation approach.
I see. So you're saying about the fact that we're not composting more, right? That we're just dumping the organic waste into the trash.
Yeah.
It's got greenhouse effects.
Yes.
Okay.
And then we will be with us for next 30 years.
Okay. Well, hopefully under the blueprint, the waste charging scheme, everything somehow will have some kind of separation of the organic waste, right?
Definitely is important because the biogas generated by the organic waste is quite a serious issue for the worldwide emission.
Yeah. All right, great. Well, Lawrence, thanks so much for coming in
You're welcome.
and talking about it. And Trash Talk listeners, really encourage you to go to the Civic Exchange website where they've got their comments on the waste blueprint. They also have probably a link, I think, to the MSW charging scheme petition paper.
This one, Support Hong Kong, is working on that.
Okay,
Yeah, so
All right.
you can go to Support Hong Kong website and then to sign the petition.
great.
Yeah, because we want to establish more collaboration between different organizations.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's one of the key mission of Civic Exchange.
Nice. All right, thank you so much
You're
for coming
welcome.
in. That was really clear.
Thank you so much.
You can find all the Trash Talk episodes on iTunes and the RTHK on the Go app. Thanks to our partners, Plastic Free Seas. If you like what you hear, I also host the Sustainable Asia podcast on iTunes, Spotify, and YouTube for a more in-depth look at sustainability issues here in Asia.
Many thanks once again to Marcy Trent Long for this week's Trash Talk. What a wonderful feature. And Marcy was speaking to Lawrence Liu from the Civic Exchange, which is a think tank, and they were chatting about the waste blueprint for Hong Kong 2035.